All right, everybody. Episode 16, Sweet 16. We are back after our little hiatus last week for 4th of July. Now, I know we did. We took a little week off, much needed. Although I don't really feel well rested. Do you?
No. I feel the opposite.
Me too.
I feel tired. Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's the full moon. I think the full moon eclipse. I never sleep well around the full moon. Hand to God. People think I'm crazy. I don't. I'm like a werewolf. My whole sleep schedule. Every full moon, I don't know what it is. I just can't sleep through the night for those 3 days surrounding it. It's so bizarre.
By the way, you told me about the lunar eclipse, and I was set to go watch it, and I totally forgot about it. Did you see it?
Oh, listen, you know me. I'm a witch. I was basking topless in the moonlight. Of course I...
Lighting sage. And,
yeah. I would not have missed the lunar eclipse for the world, okay? I was out there. I had alarms set. I was ready to go. I was not going to screw that one up.
Well, how did it look?
It was beautiful. It was really, really bright. It wasn't I don't think here you could see the full eclipse aspect of it, but if you went out, it was just this giant, it was a huge moon. It was beautiful.
Especially
and it was
with
nice.
all these fireworks going off. I'm sure that, changed the look a little bit.
Well, I was gonna say it was actually kind of beautiful that the fireworks were going off at the same time as the moon. But speaking of moons, my ass I posted a video or a picture of it on Instagram this week, and I feel bad because I know you've heard this story 13 times, but for our listeners and our viewers, I took a little bit of a spill in the tub this past week. I was just getting in, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but I slipped and I slammed my head and the left side of my hip / ass area, right, on the ceramic tile, saw stars, the whole 9 yards. And I mean, I was and then my dumbass, I kept showering because I was afraid that I was going to have to go to the hospital. And I was well, I don't want to go with half washed hair. So I tried to muscle it out, and then I almost passed out. So, but yeah, just note to self, note to everybody, if you think you're going to pass out, don't take a hot shower after not eating all day. It will not help the situation. And then I got out of the shower, and my hip was fully bruised and already red and swelling, and it looked kind of nice. I felt I had a real Brazilian ass, but only on the one side. So I was completely uneven, and I was gonna tell my friend Justin, I was listen, you need to come over with one of those aluminum bats and hit the other side of me. So at least I had 2 contusions, and I was evened out on both sides.
So you're saying the bruise enlarged your booty, and you liked the feeling?
Oh yeah, I gotta ramp up the glute workouts, because I did like the look of it, minus the gangrene bruise.
The disgusting purple and blue.
Yeah, exactly. Minus the disgusting varicose vein looking thing that's on my ass right now. The rest of it looked really cute, so I was into it.
Well, you gotta be careful in the bathroom. It's very easy to slip these days,
Well, you said there was a statistic that 90% of home accidents happen in the bathroom. Is that
yes,
true?
That is absolutely true. Because you have these old people, that are, they can't stand for themselves regularly. But you put a slippery surface on the ground, they're slipping all the time.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, I'm I need life alert. I'm 27 years old, but I need life alert starting now, because I just am the clumsiest motherfucker. I live alone. And honestly, if I did pass out, who would have found me? I don't even have a cat to meow. Who would have been they just would have found me dead days later, unwashed hair, laying down in the bathtub. It's not good.
That's the weird thing about living by yourself. If you die, no one really knows for a while.
I know. I think about that probably more than it's normal to think about it, but who knows, man. And then 2 weekends ago, I was supposed to go away, and then my trip got screwed up. But the people I was going away with, one of them, my good friends, she dates women. And I remember when I called my guy friend up to tell him I was going away with a bunch of chicks, he was oh, a girls trip? And I was yeah. And I told him who was going, and he's lesbians? And he as if he just found out he won the fucking the lottery. I was And then he was like, I was like, I don't understand. Like, what does that do for a guy? Like, just the fantasy alone?
Yeah, guys love lesbians. It's just, it goes back to day one. The idea of these two beautiful creatures coming together when it's not usual.
When it's not usual. Well, it is usual for them. Like, but I just was laughing the fact that he thought that like just because like two of my friends were lesbians that it was going to be like one giant orgy in Orange County. I was like, no.
He's not wrong. It could happen, right?
It could, yeah. I feel like that's how every guy approaches the situation. It could happen. Like, you never know. Not likely, but it could happen. I mean, as I always do, like I'm going to turn the conversation to porn, but I feel like lesbian porn is like a very vanilla category of porn, all things considered.
Well, yeah, because there's very little penetration. Unless you get some toys going in there, it's it's not that aggressive.
And I just feel like most people have watched it. Like, gay, straight, woman, man, like doesn't matter. I feel like everybody has watched. Like, I don't know anybody who's like, oh no, I hate lesbian porn. Like, unless you're a gay guy, actually. But like outside of that, and even then, like they might like it because like gay men tend to love beautiful
I'd like
women.
to say, yeah, I think a gay guy could appreciate lesbian porn. I mean, I think there's definitely a beauty there.
For sure. I remember like when I was like maybe 15 years old, I was like watching porn. Like I wasn't supposed to be, obviously, when you're like younger, but I was watching porn on my laptop, and I guess I made like the classic error of like leaving the window open. I didn't remember, and I like shut my laptop and I went to sleep. And I guess my dad came upstairs to borrow my laptop because something was wrong with his. Yeah, like first of all, Scott Hunter, like, do we really need to be snooping? Like, it was so annoying. And then my mom woke me up like an hour later to like have a conversation about it with the two of them. So I come downstairs, it's like late at night, and they're like, they have my laptop open and they're like, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh, and immediately I'm like, like, have you ever been caught watching porn?
Not actually in the act, but the closest I've ever got was my mother came home early from a trip, and I was in my room watching it. I heard her footsteps, so I turned off the desktop computer, and I looked frazzled as she opened the door, and she said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Nothing," but of course something was wrong.
She, like, knew.
And, that is the absolute closest, but it is a terrifying thought for most men.
Yeah, well, or just anybody. Like, it was not a good feel. Like, I felt like I was, like, like in the Green Mile when he's, like, walking to the execution chair. Like, that's how I felt coming down the stairs when I saw...
I don't understand parents' concerns. Like, people are gonna see naked bodies eventually.
Right.
It's healthy. I don't get why it's such a bad thing.
When I was
for
15,
a teenager to watch porn.
I was in high school. I never really understood why I got in trouble because I was older and I was like, I don't really get it. But she was like, like your father is like so embarrassed and concerned. And in my head, even at 15, I was like, wouldn't it have been like worse if it was like girl gets like, gangbanged by like 6 dudes and like choked out? Like then Absolutely. I could understand his concern, but I was watching some lesbian porn. Like I feel like as a dad, you'd be like, oh, thank God, like this is like.
No, yeah, I think he's more embarrassed, so he's trying to turn the tables. He's trying to make it seem like it's your fault instead of his fault.
Like, all right, Scott, like you snooped and now look what happened. Like You can't open Pandora's box and then be mad at what comes out.
Exactly.
But I was thinking the other day, like, who, like, my top, like, lesbian hookups would be. And you said Pam Anderson, but and originally I was like, oh, yeah, but really no, because, like, I look at her as, like, my spiritual mother. Like, she's, so that's weird to me. Like, I don't want to hook up with her. I just idolize her, and I, like, want to be her. But I think like
I think I'm with you there. She she needs to be glorified. She needs to be there needs to be statues of her, not so much sex fantasies. I agree.
Yeah, like I don't know. She's like amazing, but I don't look at her and be like, oh, I want to have sex with her. Like I look at her and I'm like, I want to emulate her.
I want to have sex with her, but that's just me.
Yes, most men do. But I think for me, and then I was like, okay, well, who are my? And I feel like lame white chicks are always like Megan Fox, and it's like, okay, we get it, like we know, but like I need somebody like and she's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but like I need somebody a little dirtier. Like for me it would probably be like Jenna Jameson, like, but 90s Jenna, like before she became like halfway a neo-Nazi. Like, I want to be ignorant
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
these days she's not looking great. It has to be 90s Jenna.
Yeah, it has to be like, so like Jenna in her heyday, Jenna Jameson, Tara Patrick, honestly now or then, because she's like, she has those like Asian genes, so she is
Ooh.
aging like a fine wine, Tara
Okay.
Patrick. Or Christy Mack, probably, because she's
Okay,
like,
you like the tattooed girls?
well, I mean, not particularly, but I do think tattoos like are beautiful, and I think she's hot. So yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Oh, I forgot she was like, oh yeah, she has like a full sleeve. I do.
No, more than that. Christy Mack, if I'm getting this right, is full of tattoos.
Yeah, no, she definitely, no, she has a lot of tattoos. It's so weird too. I'm like total side topic, but I love tattoos on other people, men or women. I have none. My family is like all tatted up, but I think it's because I'm anti-committal. Like, I can't order dinner without thinking about it like 37 times through. So the thought of having something permanently on my body is too much for me. So, do you have tattoos?
What was that?
Do you have tattoos?
No, thank you. I don't know. Like, I'm in between the thought of, the tattoo should be important, and then also it should just be whatever and just be silly and fun. So, like, part of me thinks, like, if I were to get a tattoo, I would get, like, Willy Wonka on my back. But then another part of me is like, oh, that's just stupid. Why would I do that?
No, oh my god, first of all, I love Willy Wonka. And this is so weird. See, like, this to me is like full moon, like weird eclipse vibes, because we're talking about porn. You just brought up Willy Wonka, and the other night I was thinking, how great of a porn parody would Willy Wonka be? And I thought for sure.
I mean, it has to exist. I mean,
wait a minute. I thought for sure that it existed. That I was like, oh, someone must have done it. I was Googling last night. I could not find like a big. So I'm like, oh my god, I need to write the script and direct it. Like, this is my calling. Like, Willy Wonka porn parody. Obviously, like, we can't have kid that's like sick, so we have to deal with like the kid aspect of it.
So what happens? Like, I guess the adult star that gets in trouble gets fucked instead of taken away by the Oompa Loompas.
Right,
Get fucked by the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, so the thing with Willy Wonka is that it already has like the perfect plot for a porn parody, because it goes like one by one they eliminate people. So in porn speak, that's like one by one people get fucked. So the skeleton is already there. It's really just like a mild tweaking. And I feel like it would be like porn Fantasia, because there was so many different people in that movie. Like, you have the blueberry chick. So there's like, your BBWs, like, for whoever likes that.
That's perfect.
I feel like all the Oompa Loompas, there could be like a gay orgy. So like, if you're like gay porn, then you have that.
We're talking about a big cast here.
It's like it has to be like a porn series. I don't even think it could be like a feature length film. I think that it has legs and.
No, we could do a film. It's gonna be a full 2-hour long film, but it could be a film.
I put a lot of thought into this, and then like obviously like Willy Wonka.
Is Wonka fucking, or is it just the Oompa Loompas?
Oh no, he at some point he has to make his debut, like, obviously.
Yeah,
but
and are the Oompa Loompas little people?
Yeah, why not? I mean, the sky's the limit. That's what I'm saying here, man. Like,
there's so many options.
Like, and also in a time like 2020 where we're trying to be so inclusive, it could easily be the most inclusive porn project ever, whilst also what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I can't think of the word. Like,
I don't even know where you're going with this.
I know. I don't. You know what? It's like when you're a genius, it's like the ideas just start flowing, and then sometimes there's like a little bit of a stoppage. But
Elon Musk has the same problem.
I want him to be in it. I want Elon Musk to be in the Willy Wonka porn.
Let me ask you real quick, because we hung out yesterday for 4th of July, and we were salivating about the thought of getting delicious fast food. And I would go home and order food. I didn't end up ordering food, but I'm wondering if you did.
No, and you know what? Don't even talk to me about it, because I'm so upset. Because there is, like, short of, like, God forbid, losing a child, I don't know if there's any worse feeling in the world than ordering a cheat meal and having it be shit. Like,
Yeah.
you work all
Yeah.
week to eat healthy. You have this one meal, and then you order something and it's terrible. That's what happened to me last night. I don't want to throw any LA restaurants under the bus, but I ordered
Oh,
from.
so you did order the food. You didn't eat it.
No, it was terrible. And I was pissed because you and I were talking about all these stoner foods. So I was going to order Popeyes and like treat myself. And then Popeyes was closed.
Yeah, I had the same issue.
So
what'd you get?
it was devastating. I just got this like fried chicken sandwich, but it was like subpar and it was like
Go
swimming.
on, give the names. Throw them under the bus. What is it?
No, I don't. I can't.
So, you ordered a fried chicken sandwich from an undisclosed
From an
location in LA, and it wasn't to par.
I ordered a fried chicken sandwich from an undisclosed location. It was swimming in mayo. There were not enough pickles, and they put weird
I
onions.
love mayo on a chicken sandwich.
They put weird onions on it, and I'm just really upset about it. I don't want to speak of it. It was very upsetting.
Well, did you eat it, or you just kind of nibbled at it?
I ate a couple bites, and I just was like, "Fuck it," and I like threw it out, and it was like,
Wow.
It was done. Yeah.
I always eat the bad sandwich. That's my problem. I shouldn't, sometimes I'm eating something like this is terrible, but I'll just keep eating it.
Oh, see, no, I can't do that. That's like, and then I'm telling you, last night was weird, and I do think it was the moon. Then I tried to masturbate later on, like before I went to bed. I couldn't get off. Something was weird. I didn't feel right. And then I woke up this morning, and I don't know, like something's amiss. Something is amiss in the atmosphere, my friend. So speaking of 4th of July, so first of all, you and I talked about this. If one more person texts me and asks me if I watched Hamilton, I'm going to blow my brains out all over this studio apartment.
So I'm taking it that you haven't seen Hamilton.
No, I haven't, and I would appreciate it because you know what? Hamilton is like has turned into the Game of Thrones. It's like if you don't watch it, the people who do watch it will harass you until you do watch it, and it's fucking annoying. Like there were no more annoying people in the world than there were no more people who were more annoying than the Game of Thrones fans. I get it, you love it, I'm happy for you, dragons, incest, whatever the fuck you're into, by all means, I'm glad that you were so enamored by it. Stop getting other people to watch it. Like if I said I don't want to watch it, I don't want to fucking watch it. It's so
and
annoying.
here's the thing too. Game of Thrones is available for a much wider audience. A lot of people can sink their teeth into that idea. Hamilton, and I'm a fan of Hamilton, I liked it, is definitely not for anybody. Like that's not like you have to really love what Hamilton is to like it. It's not for everybody.
I'm like not a big musical. I mean, for fuck's sake, I watch UFC and porn like 90% of the time. You think I'm going to be into musicals? Like, who do you think I am? So, I mean, I like Grease. Like, Grease is like, I can watch Grease 1,000 times.
If there's a spectrum of musicals, it is the opposite of Grease.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm not saying I won't ever watch Hamilton, but it's like people asking me if I watched it, like it was like the second coming. I'm like, all right, relax. I don't like.
Well, do you have Disney Plus?
I do have Disney Plus.
What are you watching on Disney Plus?
Nothing right now. No, I'm not really into like the kiddie shit. You know what I watched last night?
Shake my head.
Well, because you're weird. That's strange. It's strange to be a fully grown adult and want to watch kid things all the time. It's weird.
Oh, it's the best. That's because you're not a pothead. That's why.
That might change things, but I do like Cartoon Network, and I feel like, or Adult Swim, I should say, and that's like a very
well, that's
like
made
a
for
stonery
adults.
vibe.
That's different.
What? Oh, you think adults? Well, no,
It's
that's what
called
I'm
Adult
saying.
Swim. It's made for adults. Kids programming cannot be touched. There's nothing else like it. I mean, smoke a bong and watch SpongeBob, and nothing else compares.
Yeah, cannot be touched would be the key words there in that sentence when watching children's shit. No, I watched, and it's tradition for me, but I watched Jaws last night because that's like it's like a 4th of July tradition, like in it, not just for
cute.
me, but for
Is
everybody.
anyone else doing this tradition, or is it just you?
No, it's like a thing. Like I think it's AMC airs like the whole like all 4 movies every single year because it takes place during 4th of July.
Yeah.
So it's a 4th of July movie. I obsessed with Jaws. So good. And as I was watching it last night, I was like laughing because I'm like, this is totally a metaphor for everything that's going on right now with the pandemic. Like it.
How's that?
Because it's like they, like they want to close the beaches because there's like a man-eating shark, and the politicians and the business owners are like, no, we can't close the beaches, we'll lose money. And so they keep the beaches open, and then the shark starts fucking ravaging through the townspeople, like eating everybody who's in the water. And then it's like you have like the police, what's his name, Chief Brody and Matt Hooper are trying to like warn everybody. So that's like Andrew Cuomo and Dr. Fauci are trying to like save the situation. And then you have like Mayor Vaughn, who's basically Trump, being like, keep the beaches open, we don't need panic. And meanwhile, there's like literally blood in the water. And then the shark is
I guess it is pretty similar.
So yeah, it was like weird watching it. And then of course when they first start the hunt, like everybody flocks and like thinks they know like what's best, which is basically like the American public just acting like fucking morons, like nobody knows which end is up. And then, in the end they get it down pat. But I couldn't.
But I'd take Jaws universe over the reality that is 2020 any day.
Oh, same. Like, please put me in amity with a fucking killer shark, like, any day over whatever is happening in Los Angeles. Or the globe, I'm sorry, the globe right now. It is too much. Or just put me, like... I am terrified... Well, I shouldn't say I'm terrified of sharks. I'm fascinated by them. I certainly don't want to be, like, swimming next to one anytime soon. But I used to say to people, this is hand to God, I would rather be locked... or like be in a shark cage for 24 hours, like through the night, the whole 9 yards. I would rather you put me in a shark cage for 24 hours than put me in a room with a bug for 1 hour.
Yeah, because who knows what that bug could do.
Ugh.
In a shark cage, you can pretty much, you're pretty much okay in a shark cage. There's not much a shark can do in the cage. But you're in that room with that bug, anything could happen.
But I know. But like people think people are like, that's insane. Like that's so ridiculous. And I'm like, I would rather spend the night in the ocean than be in the room with a bug.
I am totally with you.
Yeah. Fuck bugs, man. They're disgusting. And then of course, like me being me, like now at this stage of my life, I'm like weirdly attracted to Quint, like the old salt who like eventually the shark hunter. Yeah, that's like my vibe. Like, I would hook up with him if I were in Amity, like on the low. I would hook up with Quint.
Yeah, if he came up on your Bumble, you're swiping right, 100%.
Oh yeah, 1000% swiping right on Quint. But now if I'm like, okay, like kill fuck marry, Chief Brody, Quint, and Hooper, like I'd probably God, now I gotta think about this, man, because like Chief Brody, like he does have a good job and he's like very loving. Like we know he's a good dad, so that's a safe bet for Mary. But then, like, there's no way like I'm not fucking Quinn, so I'm marrying him or fucking him either way. And then like I would have to kill Hooper, but that's so sad. Like we don't listen in this day and age, or even in the 70s, we can't be killing off scientists. We need as many of those men as possible. So I don't know who to eliminate.
Yeah, but like, he's like I don't know. He's a lamer version of Brody. So eliminate Hooper.
Okay, so you think, all right, so final answer would be marry Chief Brody, fuck Quint, and then kill, gotta give...
Yeah, if you want a Hooper you can
axe.
go to Brooklyn and you can find a Hooper. You've seen Hooper before.
That's so true. We could just pick up a hipster and like have him read some marine biology, and then it's like what we've replaced him basically at that point.
Yeah, but there is no one like Quint or Brody.
No, Quint is like, I'm telling you, I feel like Quint, like, you saw the way he like maneuvered that ship. I think he knows his way around the bedroom. I'm willing to
absolutely
bet on that. What else happened? I also had, as you know, I had the eye doctor fiasco this week. I went for my annual checkup. Should have been a run-of-the-mill thing. It was a new doctor. I walked out of there and they told me they wanted to charge me $1,800 for new contacts and like some rogue eye procedure. I was hysterically crying when I left the office. I was like, holy shit, I cannot afford this. And like I always joke like, oh, I'm going to start an OnlyFans. Like for fuck's sake, if that is the cost of eye care in this country, I'm quite literally going to have to start an OnlyFans. Because who can pay that? Who's going to pay that for their eyeballs?
Well, what was the conclusion? Because I told you that this person's a schmuck and you shouldn't listen to them and go somewhere else. Did you end up going somewhere else?
Well, it's an ongoing case, but I had my eye doctor from Jersey. Like, shout out to Dr. Rostagi from Montclair. He is a godsend. Like, any of our listeners, if you're in New Jersey, please go to him. He's amazing. I called him told him the situation, and or I told the nurse, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna have the doctor call you back tomorrow. So he calls me, it's semi early in the morning, 10:30 a.m., which is early for Bri. Calls me, and at this during quarantine, I like to email naked in bed from the hours of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then I rise.
I am with you.
Yeah.
100%.
I rise after, so I'm up and I'm working, but I am topless in bed sending emails from 9 to 11 a.m. That's the quarantine move. Sorry. So meanwhile, he calls me at 10:30 and he's like, I'm talking him through it, and he's like, okay, I just sent you a link, let's FaceTime so I can see your eyes. And I'm like, oh, okay, just a minute. I'm fucking stark naked. And I have to run around my apartment, grab my kimono, hide my vibrator from the night before, make it look semi-presentable. And he's on the phone waiting for me. And I'm like, oh, just be a minute, Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm like, holy shit, what, what am I gonna do? I'm topless, so I threw on clothes and then eventually got on, and I was like, just so you know, I just woke up. My hair is a mess. He was laughing. He's like, it's fine, but he.
You know what happens to me all the time is I'll be in bed. And, the same situation, naked and just, watching porn probably. And then I'll get a knock on the door at 10 a.m. And I'm like, shit, someone's at the door. So I'll throw the tissues away and I'll get dressed. And then it's just a package that was at the door.
Who visits at the ungodly hour of 10 a.m.? I'm a night owl. So, anything before noon to me is an insult. Don't fucking bother me. The juices aren't even
just
flowing.
leave the package. I never got what the knock was for with the package. Just leave it. I'll figure it out. I'll know it's there.
Almost as egregious as people ringing the door when they're dropping off a package is the fucking racism in this country at the moment.
Good segue.
Smooth. I was catching up on Bad Friends, which is Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino's podcast. And they were talking about, they're great. They're a great duo. So if anyone is looking for a good comedy podcast, you should listen to theirs.
Or the Many Lug Hole podcasts.
What'd you say?
Or one of the Many Lug Hole podcasts instead.
Oh, I forgot. Do you want to plug those at any point?
No, I'm kidding. There's just two podcasts. There's my podcast and your podcast, so we're good.
Okay, well, eventually we will. But
eventually.
Yes, I would say listen to their podcast and any other Lug Hole podcast. But they were talking about that crazy, chick from down in Torrance who was, harassing Asian people for sport. This woman was insane. And in the video, she's, yelling at some Asian woman for, working out. Because, of course, God forbid Asians have the right to work out in a park. And she was go back to your country. Which is something that, you hear a lot of these, shitty racists say. Go back to your country. Asshole, if we're playing by those rules, we all gotta go back to our country. Unless you're a Native American, and at this point in time, there's, 6 of those people left. We all have to go back. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't want to go back to my country. I've looked at my options. Italy, Slovakia, Russia, the Middle East. I don't like my options, okay? I want to stay here. So stop saying go back to your country. Because I can guarantee you most people, if they had to go back to their country, they would not like it. Italian people are they think of it oh, it's an Italian vacation, it's going to be nice. No, go live life in Italy with their shitty fucking tiny ass ket cars that look like it's out of a Richard P. Scarry children's book. With their tiny ass portions and then the cheap, go back to Italy. See if you actually want to live there. You don't. It's just so insane.
I don't know why you take it so seriously, because they're obviously idiots. These people that say something like that are just dumb people. They don't get it.
Well, no, of course they're idiots, but the problem is there's too many of them. They've become emboldened. Listen, I don't want to point the finger, Trump. But they've become emboldened by a certain gay Oompa Loompa. And now we're in a situation where these people, they think that they're in the right. I feel after, the 60s, 70s, most racists were, kind of, halfway closeted racists. They knew that they could only wear their hoods, around a select group of people. And it was okay. Now people think it's, a badge of honor to be an asshole again. Look at all these videos that are coming out. People are wild and I don't know. I've never seen like so many like angry white women before in my life.
Well, social media helps that. I think these people existed, but they weren't exposed. Now they're being exposed, and hopefully that means they'll go away eventually, but who knows?
I know, but it's like it's too much.
They're scary
man.
looking. You see some of these images? They're scary looking white people.
Right. I said on I was supposed to plug this at the top of the podcast, but it's okay because we'll put it in the notes. I was on my friend or my friends John and Eva. They have a podcast called Papa's Basement. I was on as a guest a couple weeks ago. Had a really good time. Everybody should check out the episode. We'll link it out.
It was a great episode. I listened.
Thank you. But we did talk about Karens and crazy white women, and I said that like those are the women that you always see in swinger porn because there's women who are white and ugly. Like there's no class of women who is more desperate to keep a man than women who are white, ugly, and fat. They will do anything. They will be a racist. They will join you at your Klan meeting. They will fuck 4 dudes if that's what you're into. If you want to watch, they will do anything.
You ever see like those ads for Simpsons or Family Guy porn?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, like, listen, not everything should be a porn parody, you know? Like, a lot of things could be, but they're, like, I always think about that, like, what would be Chernobyl, not a good idea for a porn parody.
Terrible idea.
Right? You know, My Sister's Keeper, not a good porn parody. There has to be a limit.
You know what's a good one? Like a good porn parody? I would love a big fat Greek wedding parody.
Oh, see, there you go. That's exactly. So much to work with. Very inclusive.
Pretty Woman would be a great parody.
Yeah, but see, Pretty Woman, like what? Like that was already sexual. That would be like having like American Pie as a parody. Like it's already halfway there, so it's like not like.
Yeah, well, take it to the next step.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You sort of like fulfill everybody's fantasies, or like Land Before Time. Not a good porn parody.
No, you don't want
Annie. Not a good porn parody.
Yeah, most
Grease.
cartoons I feel like aren't a good idea.
Grease would be a good one though.
What was that? Grease?
Yeah, that has somebody
to
had
exist.
to have done
I'm gonna
that.
search it right now. That has to exist.
Because that's like a really popular one. What else? What's like a popular?
I searched Grease porn, so who knows what's gonna come up?
Yeah, you gotta be a little more specific there. Don't just.
Oh no, there is a Grease porn parody.
It
looks like pretty legit too. She looks like Sandy, and he looks like what's John Travolta's character? Danny Zuko.
Danny Zuko, yeah.
Yeah, pretty well done. This one looks like it's from the time too.
Like, see, that's quality. That's quality for you. Not everybody believes in quality.
Nope.
But yeah, I mean,
this one says Rizzo gets fucked, and this girl looks like Rizzo.
So, well, yeah, I mean, I think that, like I said, I feel like there has to be like a level of realism to it. So if you're doing it right, we'll watch it, and I think that will be our like inspiration behind the Willy Wonka thing. I gotta get in touch with like Axel Braun and like pitch this idea to him, and then just ask for like a small cut of it. But I feel like if I came up with it and I like wrote the script and everything, I should get something. So
yeah, some like 10% of the proceeds, but that's about it. You don't want to get rich off of this. You just want to, you want to get something.
Right. No, I just want to be able to pay my eye care bills with the royalties from the Willy Wonka porn script that I'm about to write.
Although there's no money in porn these days. It's all about OnlyFans. So I think
I know.
we're not going to make much from it, but we'll try.
Maybe that's the thing too, is like how do you set yourself apart from the other OnlyFans chicks? It's like I could superimpose my nudes into classical films, and then that could be like my niche on OnlyFans, right?
Miracle
like so it would be
34th
like
Street, and it's you.
Well, yeah, or it could be like the mouth of Jaws, but then like me topless popping out,
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Or if it were Willy Wonka, it would be like me naked in the chocolate river. Like it would be,
Yeah, I mean, I think if he just had you naked, you'd probably make money in the first place. So I don't think you really need all this extra stuff.
Thank you.
You're an artist. I get it.
I just want there to be a creative spin. And you always got to separate yourself from the rest of the pack. So I think that nudes with like a classical film touch is like maybe not a bad idea. So stay tuned, everybody, because if the medical bills go up any further, it will be a real thing. Let me just tell you. All right. Anything to wrap up episode 16? Any more remarks from you, Al?
Everyone at home, watch Jaws and think of better times.
Yes. Watch Jaws. Don't be peer pressured into watching Hamilton. And think about better times. And also think about my nudes also to bring you better times. I don't know if that would work for everybody though. But
Yeah, and think about who would you marry, fucking kill? The audience.
oh yeah,
It's a fun game.
yeah. Think about That's like a one you can ponder during quarantine. Who? Kill, fuck, marry, Quint, Hooper, Chief, Brody. I'm
Those are
telling you,
basically
you'll
the
have to
only
do some soul
characters unless we're
searching.
Talking about Bruce the Shark.
Or Bruce. Oh yeah, or you could throw Bruce the Shark in the mix and then really just fucking go hog wild. All right, I think that's a great note to end on. Actually, nudes, sharks, and Chief Brody.
There's never been a better note.
Yeah, I mean, what's more 4th of July than those things? So, all right, everybody, we love you. Stay safe, stay Rona free, and stay off of OnlyFans until I'm on there. Right?
Yes.
All right, we love everybody. Bye.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.